Hello guys, welcome again to Lake Kariba. This time we are at the observation point where we shall be talking about the famous NyamiNyami walking stick. I must say right now, this is not how NyamiNyami looked like, but this was an artistic creation by a famous sculptor whose name was Rhinos Taoname. So I think we need to give credit to Mr. Taoname for recreating the Tonga way of life into a walking stick. So briefly, I'll just explain what the walking stick is all about. If you look at the top, this was more like the head, but if you look at this head, many people confuse the head as to what it is. If you look at these teeth, they resemble the big teeth from the hippo, but if you look at the fins here, they resemble the fins from the fish, but these scales are taken from the crocodile. So these are the famous things or famous creatures that we find in the lake, because the Tonga way of life revolved around the lake or the river. It was before the lake with the Zambezi River. So most of their life revolved around the Zambezi River. Coming down here, we've got the fish. This fish was the most common or easy to find type of food, hence it became the staple diet of the Tonga people. And again, that's the connection to the river. Then just on this side, this is a dry Mopan tree. The Tonga people, because they dwelt in the Zambezi Valley, the Zambezi Valley is hot with very little rainfall and stuff, and it's a favorable environment for the Mopan tree. So Mopan tree played a very significant role in the lives of the Tonga people. So these people would perform rituals under the dry Mopan tree. So here we can see the Tonga people, one is holding a mbira, the other one is playing some drums, the other one drums and some other instruments. They are playing or performing rituals under a dry Mopan tree, and usually this Mopan tree would be on the banks of the Zambezi River. Again, the connection to the river comes through. And beneath here, what we call mbanje or cannabis was also a very important aspect of the Tonga cultural life. These people would smoke it, and they believed that smoking cannabis or mbanje, as we would want to call it, would make them or open up their minds and make them think wiser, become wiser, think openly, among other things. And these rings that we have here, these ones also denoted the hierarchy within the Tonga. Remember, they were polygamous. So as women were married to a husband, bangles would be added to the older woman, and the hierarchy would be denoted by the number of bangles and sometimes the color of the bangles that the women wore on their wrists. So this is basically about these rings. Then beneath the rings, this denoted the baobab tree, but inside the baobab tree is what they call the magic ball. The magic ball and the baobab tree is supposed to be a house for the king. So the king would have his house or his special house inside a baobab tree. This was meant to also foretell or maybe prophesy a long life, maybe protection from spirits and any harm that might befall the king. Hence, he would have the baobab, and then they would have his heart inside the baobab, and all other his wives would be around that within the home setup. And then this, they would call it the magic hand. The magic hand basically would hold this ball, the magic ball. Before they go, they would go for a fishing or hunting expedition. They would throw the magic ball. So there are some markings that were on the ball. Whichever side the magic ball faced would actually tell them which side they are likely to have the best hunting trip. So if they were looking for meat, if they throw the magic ball, it would point like, go this direction, you're likely to come across a very good game. So this is where we have the magic hand. Then here, this symbolizes the waves in the river or in the lake, because these were river people. They didn't want to be separated from the river, hence the waves will always have a special place. Now, if I hold this tree from this point up to this point, is the special smoking calabash. In Shona, would call it gonangombe. What these guys would do is they would put the cannabis, the mbanje here, and then there will be some ashes or some burning ashes inside the cannabis, and then as it burns, there will be water underneath the calabash. So these guys would inhale and pull from this end the smoke, but the smoke will pass through some water to filter any harmful substances, so that they would inhale purified smoke that maybe would make them high and stuff. So basically, in simpler terms, this special walking stick, I know there are many artists that are now making these walking sticks, but the original design, credit goes to Rhinos Tauname. So I know he's no longer into these things, but when he did it, many other upcoming artists tried to imitate his design, and up to this day we need to give credit where it's due. It goes to Rhinos Tauname. So basically this is the famous walking stick, and I must also hasten to add, one of these is in the British royal family. It was handed over to the British royals when they visited Zimbabwe some years back. The other one, I think the late former president of Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe, was also gifted one, and some other many high-ranking people from around the world, they are hanging these in their houses, palaces, wherever, whatever you can name them. But I just wanted to give you a brief about our famous NyamiNyami walking stick, which, and I think most people will say, no, you people, you worship a snake. No one has ever said NyamiNyami is a snake, but this was just an artistic creation to compress and put together the Tonga way of life into a walking stick, an idea that I think came out so well, and I think it's worth giving credit for this. Thank you for now. Stay tuned for more videos coming later.